Good morning, everyone. Rick from Bojo Living Homestead. It's August the 12th, about 9:30 in the morning. I just got through with all the animals and everything, got everybody straightened out. I want to introduce you to Bojo, the newest edition here. Not planned, not on purpose, but the newest edition. Something that we had planned on getting a lot later. To roam the grounds pretty much. You know, the other puppy was mainly for the goats, to stay with the goats. That's what it was bred for. It was actually raised with goats and sheep. But his name is Bojo. It's Bojo, but it's pronounced Bo and then Joe. Bojo. He's supposedly he's only 12 weeks old. I got him from, again, he was not on purpose. I hadn't planned on getting him. But I have an elderly gentleman that lives in a little town up the road. I want to say he's probably mid-70s, maybe pushing 80. Gets around really, really good, though. Born and raised here. Left when he was young. Got out of school and he moved to St. Louis and was in the nursing field there until he retired, basically. But from what he says, he never married, never had any children or anything. And what family he did have here is passed on. And any nieces and nephews he had, they pretty much all moved out west somewhere. But they actually still own some property in this area, but they all live out west somewhere. So he doesn't have any family. And I think he just gets lonely. He likes to roam around and he talk to different neighbors, but I actually get a lot of information from him. He's, you don't have to ask him. He volunteers it, because he knows everybody. But he's a good guy. He's a really nice guy. And he doesn't talk bad about people, but he kind of fills you in on things, or who's who and what people do and, you know, stuff like that. And but he's a nice guy. But he comes in here and he buys eggs. You know, he'll buy a couple dozen at a time. And he brings me egg cartons and stuff. I think he has a couple people that are probably saving egg cartons for him, and he brings them in to me and stuff. And but he had mentioned that he had bought this puppy because he had one years ago, and let's see, he had years and years ago, and it had passed away. It was a rescue, but it was a German Shepherd, and I think he bought him more as a companion. I mean, I know he did as a companion, because he lives by himself and stuff. And in this little small town, there's not tons of neighbors. But he had told me he bought this puppy, and then the last couple of weeks, every time I've talked to him, he says, you know, I didn't realize how much it was to take care of these puppies. They're like small children. They're just constant. You're having to take care of them, and he said, I just didn't realize he's full of energy, and he's getting into everything. He's chewing up things, and I don't know if he kept him. I think he kept him outside, but at times he would let him in the house because he spent the night outside last night. He actually bought his little dog house with him, and he actually bought a brand new bag of dog food, 40 or 45 pound bag of dog food. There's his little dog house. And of course, he's going to outgrow that really fast, but it actually works right now. But he did good outside last night. He whined a little bit at first, then he quieted right down. He barked a few times in the middle of the night, but I think that's because he heard or saw something. But also the puppy out there with the goats was barking too, so maybe he was barking because that one was barking. And down here, everybody has dogs. Both the neighbors across the road, all of them around me. You hear their dogs bark, then the rest of them start barking. And it echoes down here in this hollow. So anyway, he had mentioned a couple of times he was going to bring that puppy down here and give him to me, that I could use him to help protect the animals down here. And at that time I told him, John, I don't need a dog. I said, we have two in Florida with my wife she's going to be bringing up. And at that time I didn't have the other puppy. And I only got that puppy, like I said, because the coyotes are getting really bad. They're getting closer and closer. And in fact, that's one of the reasons I took this puppy. Plus, John, I think, really just did not think how much work it was to take care of these things. these puppies. I mean, because he's so full of energy, and he needs a lot of training. He needs a lot of training because he jumps all over you. And right now, he is any chicken, turkey that get close to him, you can see that stalking position, and then he takes off running after him, and it's that prey drive in him, and I understand that prey drive. But that's, in a way, that's kind of a good thing, and it's kind of a bad thing. He's got to learn that the chickens are part of the homestead here, and they're part of the family. You just don't mess with them. And I got to introduce him, of course, to the grandkids, but he's going to be a good dog just for, in general, to protect the family, the livestock, the animals, keep predators away, and people if need be. But anyway, John kept mentioning, I have a tendency to ramble, as you guys know, but that he was going to bring him down here. Well, not yesterday, day before yesterday, John came down, and I didn't do a video because I've been busy dealing with the kid goat. And asked me, did I still want him? I said, well, I didn't want him to start off with, John. I says, but if you need to get rid of him, I said, just bring him on and I'll take him. I said, because I could actually use him, because I've got a problem. I said, I'm missing about 10 hens over the past couple of weeks. They're slowly disappearing. I said, and I know I got something that's getting them, and it's getting them during the daytime. It's not getting them at night because they're all locked in their coops. I said, I got a feeling it's coyote because the neighbor, about 2 weeks ago, saw one on the back side of the property, back behind the cabin there, running across the back drive back there up in the woods with a chicken. So I'm sure they or it is coming down here, sneaking down here. And that was late afternoon, but it was still daylight. And they're just sneaking down here in the hot weeds and stuff. And they're grabbing a chicken as it goes up in the woods or something. But I told him, I said, you know, puppy's not going to do me any good right now, but later on it will. It'll keep them away from here. Or coons or anything, possums, bobcats. I mean, because we have bobcats that roam around here. Neighbors have seen them a few times. We have foxes. We have pretty much every predator you can think of. In fact, we killed 2 water moccasins in the past couple of weeks. The creek's dry right now because we haven't had any substantial rain. And it is spring-fed, but most of it, by the time it gets to us, it evaporates. So it's not doing us any good. But it will pick back up again. But anyway, he brought it down. He says, I'll be back in about an hour and a half. So a little while later, Craig, he's actually a viewer of my channel on YouTube. He found me, and he just happened to recognize the property from a couple of videos. And this has been a while back. He stops in every now and then. And he lives not too far, not in the town I do, but in another town, but not too far. And he's not on YouTube. He actually doesn't have internet. What internet he has, he uses a smartphone. He goes down to McDonald's. But they've been up here, and it's a heck of a coincidence. They're from Florida. And they were lived about 3 hours from us. And of course, we didn't know them. And that's kind of what piqued his interest when he found out we were from Florida. But anyway, he just stopped in to introduce himself one day and told me how he found me or whatever. And we kind of become friends. I mean, you know, we don't hang out together yet. I mean, we may do some fishing and some other things together. He's the one that offered to help me do cabin work because that's what he did for a living as a trade. And he's already built his own shop. But he's been up here doing this 7 years. And building his place. And his wife's up here. And I think she's in the nursing field. I'm not sure of that. But he's still building on his place. But he's built a greenhouse. He's built a shop. And he's done a lot of work on his place. But anyway, he just happened to be here when he came back with Bojo here. And so, you know, he liked Bojo, but he has a dog and a cat. And the dog he said it just kind of wandered up and he just didn't have the heart to turn it away. So now they have a dog and a cat. But he doesn't have any other animals yet. Apparently, you know, he's going to eventually. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this too long. I thought I'd just give you an update, a small update on the kid goat. And then I'll do another one later on, but I wanted to introduce you guys to Bojo. And he's being calm right now instead of running around barking. And plus there's no chickens over here for him to chase out there, and that's one of the things I got to break him of. But anyway, the kid goat, I checked on this morning when I went out, feed him and everything, and checked on him. He looks really good. The diarrhea's cleared up, although I have gave him Pepto-Bismol. And I've had a couple of comments, and I really appreciate all the comments because it gives me things to start looking for and to think about. But someone commented that Pepto-Bismol was not a treatment. And again, I know that. I mean, but that I had to stop the diarrhea. And the only way to stop the diarrhea was the Pepto-Bismol. No, that's not the problem. But stopping the diarrhea keeps them from getting dehydrated. And I understand I have to treat the problem, find out what the problem is, and treat the problem. And then someone else mentioned, and it may have been the same person, I can't remember, I apologize, but coccidiosis. When they were first born and able to start eating, we got them started on pellets that were medicated for stuff to treat coccidiosis. And they went through the bag of pellets, and they've been done with it for a while. Because my feed guy told me that was one of the things they were really susceptible to when they were very young kids. There he goes. You see the turkeys. Okay, guys, I thought he was going to go after them turkeys. They were smart enough to move back the other way because he will go after them. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and treat them again for coccidiosis. Well, that one for coccidiosis, and I know that stuff is not good. I've dealt with it in birds before, exotic birds, parrots, and stuff like that. So I know what coccidiosis is. It's not a good thing. So, and he's over there checking out the turkeys now. Let's see if I can get a shot of him. But I got to break him of this. I mean, where's he at? There he is. And he's kind of stalking them, but he can't reach them. Not from there. But anyway, guys, I want you guys to know that I'm doing my best here, and I appreciate all the comments, and I keep the comments coming because you may give me an idea of something to look for that I'm not looking for. You may see something that I'm not seeing, or know something that I don't know, or I may not be asking the right question from my feed guy, because of course he doesn't come out here and look at the goats. And he's not a vet, but from experience, a lifetime experience, he's dealt with goats. They raise goats. They, alpine goats, milk goats. They used to raise meat goats. They have cattle, and he went to school for this. A lot of this stuff. So I depend on him quite a bit. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I've got tons of work to do, and I'll keep you guys updated on the dog. I got to get him to a vet. His dew claws were never cut, and I don't know how big a problem that's going to be to do it now at his age, but I got to get him in there because he just tears me up every time he jumps on me, and that's another thing. I got to break him up. But I know he's a young puppy, and I got to get him out there because we don't allow dogs to jump on people, ourselves or people. And my wife is good about training them when they're very young not to do that. So, and I'm not so good at it, but she's better at it, and so she'll be up here pretty soon. She'll have time to work with it, and he's chasing a bug or something. So, all right, guys, if you guys like the video, and go ahead and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. And of course, you guys, if you we appreciate your support, and if you like the video, go ahead and give us a big thumbs up, and share it, and comment. All right, you guys have a great day, and be safe.